on YouTube. I want to thank you for joining me here. Super excited to do this. And really what we're doing is we're kind of diving into a review of past episodes of the Audacious Living podcast. As many of you know, those who are on this channel and support this podcast, I say thank you. But I also wanted to create something that provided an opportunity to maybe, get a bit of maybe a recap of some really awesome conversations we had over the last week or so. And but also not just to give you a recap, but also to encourage you to go back and listen to them and check the full episode out for yourself. Like I said, I feel each time I have an opportunity to engage with so many special guests and again get their insights and their knowledge and their wisdom, the opportunity to share is just so inspiring for me. So that's what I believe, and so I think that every single guest truly has brought unique insights and really can inspire and empower you in your own life. And so the goal today is to again highlight some of these key moments and lessons learned, and maybe that might spark your interest in their stories. And so with that all being said, let's jump right into it. The first episode, again, we'll look at the last five and the last five episodes this past week. The first one was Mr. Bob Martin, and Bob shared, his incredible journey from a high pressure legal career to becoming a professor and meditation teacher. And, when I think about Bob's journey and what he had to share, the one thing that really struck with me during our conversation was the way Bob emphasized the inevitability of the change of life that happens. And I think we all can recognize this. Sometimes we're a fan of it, sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're not. But certainly the inevitability that there will be change in our life. And, or I think back on kind of, what he taught, and it really, he taught me that by embracing both the highs and lows, it's crucial for personal growth. And, meaning you don't get too high, but you don't get too low at the same time. And I really love how he encouraged us to integrate mindfulness into our daily activities to enhance our overall awareness and enjoyment of life. And, one of the example that he gave in our conversation was even being mindful when you're washing the dishes, right? Like as you're lathering up that plate and you're really taking your time and you're paying attention to ensure that you are hitting all the right spots and getting all the nooks and the crannies and really paying attention to that moment. So being mindful is being present in that moment. I think that's so key. And so it was great to have Bob's insights. And again, the full interview is on the channel. I would encourage you to definitely check it out. The episode surely is a must listen. The second episode that we had is we had the pleasure of listening to the amazing Jim Bouchard, and he's a leadership expert known for his human-centric approach. And I really love this perspective, his perspective on courage and leadership and resilience as well, because it's so, when you think of the role of leaders, and how critical it is, quite frankly, for them to demonstrate resilience and maintain that courage for those that are around them. And Bob's approach and focus, Jim's approach rather, on the human-centric side of things. And really, we gotta remember that we're humans at the end of the day, and that element, that piece, never goes away. And you think about how humans connect and how we share insights with one another and how we learn and how we grow from each other. It's so critical. So by all means, Jim offered some great insights and again, a human-centric approach. He also has a background in martial arts, and that really shined through in some of his teachings, and he shared really some powerful insights in emotional intelligence that can really transform how we lead and connect with others. And again, for the role of leaders, that's so important. So whether you're in a leadership role or you're aspiring to be one, you'll definitely want to check out what Jim had to share on that particular episode. The third episode that we saw this back, hi to Erica. Somebody say hi. I know you said hi. I'm going to say hi back to Erica. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me on this first YouTube Live. And what we're really doing is going back at some of the past episodes of the Audacious Living podcast from the last week or so, the last 5 episodes, and kind of give you an overview and give you an opportunity to understand what took place in these conversations, and encourage you to check them out. So please definitely do that. In our third episode this past week, I had the good pleasure and privilege to welcome Mr. Robert B. Foster. And Robert, great guy, fantastic energy, certainly a fellow podcaster like myself. And so I have a total respect for his work. But, we spend a lot of time talking about overcoming self-doubt and, again, embracing resilience. It's so important. And Robert gave a really cool story about, growing up in a competitive environment with 6 siblings. And anyone that has been, if they come from a big household, you would certainly appreciate what that is, and being around a group that's so competitive. And Robert really shared that. I really loved hearing what he had to say. His experiences shaped not only his desire, his own sort of competitive spirit, but it also his desire to help others identify, and navigate goals and challenges. And I think anyone you can inspire to help them identify the goals in their plan, I think that's a really great thing. One key takeaway I got from our chat was the importance of having a problem-solving mindset. And really what that is you see a problem head on, and you listen. And we've all been there, right? We're going through situations, we're going through circumstances, we run into a problem, right? We need to figure out, well, what do we do to fix that? Do we can wallow? So the way I put it is, we've got 2 choices. You can roll over and say, woe is me, life is so hard, what am I going to do? How am I going to get out of it? We can go through all of those things, or we can jump into problem-solving mode and develop that mindset that enables us to push through, recognize that the problems of life exist, and we can either, again, wallow in them and talk about how miserable it is and how challenging it is, or we can push through and find a way to get out of that. And so really it's all about, I think when we talk about having a problem-solving mindset, it's all about reframing obstacles as opportunities. And so this episode is filled with all sorts of motivation. As we get into episode number 4, Erin Harrington joined us, and again, she provided some really good motivation. Erin is the founder of Soul Values, as well as the author of the Whole Life Planner. And when you talk about her journey, she looks at burnout, and she really helps people work through that, especially high achievers. And she has a personal story with burnout, and that's something that really resonated. And I'm glad that she was here to share that. She shared practical tools for busy, high achieving entrepreneurs that they can use to manage stress and find balance. And I really loved her emphasis on integrating purpose and productivity, and her insights on regulating stress responses. They really were invaluable. And I think this is perfect for anyone that has those overwhelming feelings. And I think a lot of us understand what it means to be overwhelmed. And so, but when you can understand first what's happening to you, and then be able to integrate purpose and productivity, it can help you work through that. And in some cases, work through the burnout or avoid it altogether. And then lastly, but definitely not least, we had Jim Laird. He's a seasoned health and fitness coach. He's got an approach to wellness, especially for those with health challenges, that really is inspiring. He combines, personal experience with his own expertise, focusing on a sustainable lifestyle changes, and these are for men over 40. One insight that really stood out to me was his emphasis on empowering clients to take charge of their own health journey. And you think about that, on one hand you're going, well, naturally, of course you want to take charge of your journey, but sometimes it's easier said than done. But so I'm really glad that Jim actually made that point, because it's an important one. So if wellness and health and wellness and well-being and physical fitness is on your radar, again, you'll certainly want to give that episode a listen. So there you have it. The intent was to give a quick recap of a kind of last 5 episodes, and my hope is that these highlights inspire you to check out the full conversations. They are here on my YouTube channel, and again, I'm really appreciative and thankful of the guests of taking time out of their day to join us and to share their insights. Certainly, each and every single guest brought something unique to the table, and I really learned a lot from them, and I'm thankful that they're here. To all of you that have taken a few minutes out of your day, I want to thank you for joining me here today on this Audacious Living Audacious Living podcast recap. Remember, certainly comment below with your thoughts or questions. Let me know, which episode you were excited to listen to, and which one really resonated with you. And so, with that being said, next time, keep living audaciously. Be audacious, y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.